to, where are we? Welcome to Nashville.
Nashville. First time here for me. Is it first time for you?
No, I've been here once before.
Was that with a K-scope or something, or?
It was a conference. I don't think it was K-scope.
Oh,
I'm not very good
some
at
other
this.
conference? They all blend into each other?
They do. In fact, it's even worse here because the shopping mall is identical to the shopping mall in Dallas, and some of the shops are even in the same shops, in the same units. So it was a bit of a, I'm sure I've not been here before.
Oh, okay.
So what have you learned so far? I know it's only day one, day two. What have you learned so far in K-scope?
Well, probably the first thing is probably the most humbling thing is I went to the Women in Technology lunch. And it's funny just sitting amongst a group of women, which is not something I would normally do. I work remotely. I sit at home with my dog most of the day, and he's a male.
A dead kangaroo.
That's right. And it's funny just hearing a group of women talking about the things that affect them in the office. And without being too cliched about it, you realise what a white male privileged thing is. Even though I used to dismiss it with a wave of my hand. But the kind of things they talk about happening to them in the office or the way they get treated, and you just sort of cringe and go, oh, that's a bit whatever.
But there used to be a guy on the board, Danny Bryant. You know Danny?
Yeah.
Yeah. And he once came to one of the Women in IT sessions, and I said, oh, welcome. Why are you here? And he said, I have 2 daughters, and I don't want them to need this. I thought that was a brilliant thing. But today I heard a woman say, do we need women in IT at K-scope? And I asked why. And she said, there's a queue in the ladies' bathrooms. That is a sign that we've got it right now.
That's a success sign.
That's a success sign, yeah. We've got it right now. So yeah. And it is good. Quite often, like I've been a mentor this time round, and quite often it's self-confidence. So it's a good thing to be able to do and to help people hold their ground, or say what they do. So I'm glad that we do it. And if it makes men think about it, then that's brilliant as well.
And along similar lines, I was, I'll say an unnamed conference, mainly because it may have been an Oracle one, but an unnamed conference sometime recently, where when I was looking at the agenda, there were 70 speakers. There were 2 women, and I found that distressing. I thought, surely we can do a better job than this. But it also gave me a tick. I thought, at least a year ago, I wouldn't have even thought about counting the genders. I would have been too busy going, that looks like a good topic. That looks like a good topic. So coming to the Women in Technology things helps trigger that. You think, okay, I should be a little bit more broad-minded. Take away my narrow Australian mindset.
That's a good point. So we're both involved in the ACE program. Yeah. I know that the last number of people that I've coached coming into the ACE program have been women through a couple of WIC programs. It's getting better there. It's still not good, but it's as ACE directors, I think it's still less than 10%.
Oh yeah, so that's something we need to fix. Although I have to admit though, you could criticise Oracle for that, because every time we have people who are potential ACE directors, we tend to hire them, which sort of disqualifies them. I know that it was not much to Jennifer's chagrin; she doesn't get happy about that, but it's good for us at Oracle.
It is, and I've talked to a number of people about that. It's almost a self-fulfilling prophecy. Right? What happens is you get interested in one of the technologies, you work really hard at it, you share all of that knowledge, you do well in the ACE program, you get to ACE Director, you get phenomenal access to product development and product management, and you're really, really on the cutting edge, and the customers aren't there yet. So the only place that you can hone those skills is back in Oracle.
I think that's a bit of a cynical view. I think also more importantly, you build those relationships with people in Oracle.
True, yeah.
And therefore, when you are looking for your next career, you go, oh, well, I know these people really well, and they have a common interest and a common passion. Gee, you're sitting there dunking on us.
Yeah, well, no, but I've seen it. I've seen a number of people leave the ACE program because they've gone to Oracle. They wouldn't have me, so I'm okay. But it's a win both ways. They're staying in the ecosystem, so yeah, it's a win both ways. But I don't think that's a gender thing. I think it's across the board.
Well, let's bring it back to Kscope,
Yeah.
because after all, we got the big ODTUG sign behind us. Kscope's probably the most aces I ever see, maybe besides CloudWorld, but like in terms of the number of aces that roll up, this is probably one of the biggest ones. What do you think sets this conference apart? Why do so many aces, but also just so many people in general? Why do they all want to come to this conference?
I would put it down to the relationship with product development. There are also more PMs here, product managers here, than any other conference. And I think it's that ability to be close to where it's coming from. So, most an Oracle conference is about the direction of travel. So CloudWorld is about the direction of travel. This is where people come to learn about those tools, and no better place than to learn from the people who are writing it. And so I think that's what sets this apart from everything else. And from the ACE point of view, that's where they fit in best in that ecosystem, is around development. We also like to think of ourselves as, the spiritual home for the ACE program. We're working with Jen at the moment. How can we encourage people on their ACE journey, and not just to get there in the first place, not just helping with mentoring and how to get on the stage, etc. But as people go through their journey, one of the hardest things is to go from ACE Associate to ACE Pro. Is to have the opportunity, so you're then ready and comfortable with creating content, but having the opportunity to do it so you can move to that next level. And so we're looking at how we can provide webcast opportunities, podcast opportunities, written content opportunities to help people on their ACE journey, not just getting there in the first place. So we like to think of ourselves as a spiritual home. The ACE program.
Well, you know better than me. I still consider myself a Kscope noob, because my first Kscope was 2019, and then COVID wiped things out for a while. How many Kscopes have you done?
So we had a T-shirt on yesterday with the last 20 years, and I didn't attend one of them.
Oh,
so
wow.
that's 19. So 19, well, the two didn't happen. So 17 of the last 20 years I've come to Kscope. And then my first one, I came thinking, why am I here? This is going to be so technical. But actually, I like to think that it's not enough for me to know what the technology does. I need to know how it does it. And I've always come here for my learning, so that I can be better at my job in the apps. So yeah, it was. And I'd just like to say, we've just had our ACE briefing.
Yep.
That is the first ACE briefing that has been sat for that much of the session. I loved it. It was great. But that's what I like, is where the technology comes to life. So yeah.
That's cool.
But, yeah, I love the Kscope, and to me it's where I come to learn, because the PMs are going to be here, and there's so much sharing of how that works. And it's not all, there's lots of content here for people who are new to their area, as well as the really deep technical stuff.
I have to admit, I was going to say dinosaurs like ourselves, but I'll just say a dinosaur like myself. I'll go with the singular.
Somebody called me the grandmother of the ACEs today, so I'm cool about this, yeah.
But yeah, so for a dinosaur like myself, I like the fact that most conferences I go to, because I'm a database guy, it's just database. But this one, I have to admit, some of the best conversations I've had are with EPM people. Not necessarily about EPM, but just agnostic topics. And I like the fact that there's that mix and match of technologies here, and even some application stuff. But I try to steer clear.
We're trying. But yeah, we have a whole hashtag here about extending SaaS, which to me is we need tools to do that, and this is where you're going to learn how to do those tools.
Okay.
So whilst it's not a SaaS content, I am at home here. Yeah, it's brilliant.
That's cool.
It's great. So anyway, you like Kscope, you've been to Kscope, you're going to come again.
I will always go to any conference that has me, subject to time constraints, monetary constraints, and how much my dog misses me.
How much your dog misses you? Yes. Right.
But yeah, next year I'll be here. How's that?
Brilliant. No, well, we're really lucky to have you. It's great. I'm assuming you are presenting.
Yes,
are you?
I am.
Brilliant. Yes. I always feel that there's one person I'm never ever going to aspire to be like, because I don't have the time to put into a presentation that I know you put into a presentation. So we should get you to do some sessions on putting together a 600 slide presentation.
Well, I'm actually, funny enough, this week I'm doing a talk on public speaking. So maybe we can morph that next year into how to build content.
You have to do a 600 page